Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. It is Rise of Shadows time. We are deep in the thick of the new expansion. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ontes' Control Shaman, Fatigue Control Shaman. This is a really interesting list, comes to us from Hearthstone, of course. If you are watching on YouTube, links in the description. And this is a Control Shaman. They're trying to clear the board, outlast our opponent. We're trying to heal up, stay nice and thick, and then we're going to try and fatigue our opponent out using, value like Hagatha, like Shutterwalk, but also using Archivist Elysiana, which we can of course do twice with Shutterwalk if we play it in the right order. But I think the main thing that we need to be asking is, how good is Control Shaman without Volcano? I think Volcano really has epitomized Control Shaman for the last 2 years. As just being a 5-mana spell that realistically bails you out of most situations and that your opponent has to play around quite well. Without that, however, we have to rely on new spells like Hagatha's Scheme, which could be as devastating as a Volcano if you just give it some time to charge up. We've still got Lightning Storm, we've still got some other cool board clears and cool control elements, but those are the main kind of set pieces within the deck. I really like what Ontes has done here, and they've actually included Storm Chaser, which allows us to fish for our Hagatha's Schemes a bit easier. And they've even included a one-off Rain of Toads, just I guess as a little bit of extra, an extra thing to fish out with the Storm Chaser, give you a little bit of extra value, and a fine spell to cast for sure. Other than that, I really am more interested in this kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a Highlandering of spells from 1 to 4. Lots of meta choices, lots of kind of curious ones. We've got a one of Hungry Crab. We haven't faced any Murloc Shamans yet, but we totally could, and hopefully we do. We've got one of Doomsayer, which is a curious choice for a control deck. Usually used to seeing 2 Doomsayers. We've got a one of Omega Mind, which we've played before, and I actually really like. I like the one of Omega Mind just as either an early minion to deploy against those aggro decks, or late game to combine with, a Lightning Storm or a Hagatha's Scheme and just, reset you back to 30. We've got a Witch's Brew, speaking of resetting you back to 30. This is the new Shaman Heal spell. No Healing Rain anymore. Instead, it's a 2-mana spell with kind of like Echo. You restore 4 health repeatedly this turn, so we can spend 10 mana to heal for 20, which is pretty good. That's Forbidden Healing rate, and Forbidden Healing was one of the best control healing cards for a while. One of Feral Spirit's a bit curious here. Not sure what this is doing, other than, I guess, being a way to bog down the board. There's not a lot of good options for taunts on 2 and 3, so I'm guessing that's what's going on here, but obviously not fully aware. Haunting Vision, I think I'd like to see 2 Haunting Visions in here. I think this card's really good right now, but I can respect just going for the 1. Maybe that's also why the Feral Spirits here just combines quite well with the Haunting Visions in case you discover a spell you want to deploy later. We've got a one of Hecklebot as well. I'm not too sure how I feel about playing Hecklebot, same as the Hungry Crab, at least right now, whilst everyone's playing a whole bunch of different decks. We might just end up ruining ourselves with this Hecklebot, but that's the fun of the game. And then in the late stages of the game, we've got a lot of very, very typical control options, as well as a couple of new ones. We've got Hagatha, we've got Hagatha, we've got Shutterwalk, we've got Elysiana. Walking Fountain is a new one. People are raving about this card. I think it's a pretty good way for us to stabilize. It comes down, trades with 2 minions, hopefully. Restores 8 health, which is great. Yeah, I think Walking Fountain is going to be a really big part of the Shaman metagame for a long time. We've also got some cute things like Kragwa to fish back some of our spells. Or frog back some of our spells. I'm not too sure how good Kragwa is going to be. How many times are we going to be deploying 2 or more spells? I guess with Earthshock, it does make it a bit easier, but we're keeping our eye on Kragwa, and in fact all of the late game cards to make sure that they are pulling their weight, as there are plenty of options in the game these days. So without further ado, we'll jump into some games. Once again, we're not exactly hoping to get all of the wins under the sun, but we're certainly looking to learn our way around Control Shaman and see how some of these new cards do perform in the meta. Let's go. Alright, here we are with Ontes' Control Shaman. A rough hand here. I think we'll send it all back. I'm very tempted to keep this Storm Chaser. I think we will, especially against a priest. I think we might have ample time to deploy it, let it charge up. This Hecklebot, though. If it's a Resurrect Priest, it's pretty dangerous to deploy a Hecklebot. I think this card is probably a better choice if once the metagame solidifies, once you can say that, you know, hey, there's only one bad matchup for this card or something like that. Ooh, Silence Priest. Okay, we got a game, friends. We got a game. Just take a Hex, let our opponent silence it, and then we'll Hex it up. We've got a Hagatha's scheme ticking up as well, which is good if our opponent doesn't do anything. So interesting. Let's just go for a Storm Chaser. See if our opponent's just going to keep trading with this, then I think we're very okay with that. The more turns we get to tick this scheme up, the better. I think it might be time for Toads. Let's try and slow the game down a little bit. Fortunately, it doesn't. It would be great if we could follow up with the scheme, because it will put these communities at 5 health. Might just have to fire off a lightning storm and cross our fingers. We could Hex. Or do we need to save the Hex for the next big boom boom?
I wonder.
Actually, if we Hex now, we can Hagatha next turn.
This'll fix you right up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Probably should have been factoring that in, although admittedly I'm not sure if I've seen a silence like a silence priest that also plays Inner Fire Divine Spirit.
What to do?
And this keeps us in the game. I don't know if it lets us win though.
Your magic shall not save you.
Do you like to play with fire?
I wonder.
So we Hex Lightning Storm. Alright. Oh.
Wow.
That was a good draw. Not gonna lie. I think we just gotta go Hagatha mode, even though it clears out our stone gains us the 5 armor, gives us the hero power. What battle cries have we even played this game? Storm Chaser?
Minions, take to the street.
Hagatha? That's about it. Hungry Crab. We do need to be careful with these lackeys as they can discover our opponents some tasty numbers. Oh, would love to kill that and get that death rattle.
Bubble, bubble.
My will was not my own.
Yeah, nice.
Run! I will hold them off.
Is someone injured?
Is someone injured? We're about to get injured.
Is someone injured?
Alright, how much is this? 2, 4, 6, 10. Bloodlust is plus 12 is 22.
It is not my time.
Woo! Didn't even need that Hagatha scheme. Although, do now need to be aware that some of these Silence Priest decks will also play Divine Spirit. GG's, close one.
You asked for it.
Alright.
Doomhammer.
Up here against the first mage. First mage we're seeing of the expansion. We'll keep the Earthshock and the Haunting Visions. We have no idea what we're going to come up against. Could be some kind of controlling Khadgari deck. Could be some aggressive tempo mage stuff. It's going to be fun to find out. I think we'd rather see our opponent play a, a magic dart frog or something here. Really would like to see our opponent play some tempo mage minions.
Let the pain speak to me.
All right. Seems unlikely. Not the worst. Guess our opponent's gonna get pinging on these Acolyte of Pains. Seems more like one of those Khadgari control decks.
Stormy, stormy.
What to do?
Actually, I haven't even looked at the new board. Interesting that our opponent's not really attempting to maximize the amount of cards they're getting.
Stormy, stormy.
I think we'll just fire off an Earthshock here. What do we just coin? Yeah, I think we'll just coin. I guess if this is the a Khadgari deck that tries to summon a whole bunch of things, I mean, I think both of these Haggathis schemes early could make them line up quite well. Especially if we've got the lightning storms just to get some extra damage in.
My calculations are flawless.
Just in time.
Oh. Just a regular amount of time for the turn, please. Maybe we should have used a lightning storm that turn, like Hex lightning storm.
I wonder.
Maybe we should have gone for like a lightning storm. Hope that we at least roll a 4 on one of them. Then we can trade and like lightning storm again. Oh. Let's see. He's gonna die? I don't want that.
What to do?
Kind of feels like we're just gonna die without playing either of these Haggathis. Sunwalker. tight.
From wicker vows, hear my plea. These cursed spells I give to thee!
Well, we might be dead here. Seems pretty likely that we died away a fireball. Interesting. Not too sure what to expect out of mage, but if that's kind of what a lot of these more controlling mage decks are doing, then I think that we can factor that in next time. But GG's, well played.
Death for Doomhammer.
All right, up against the warrior here. I think we'll keep a Doomsayer and a Storm Chaser. Like to hit our acidic Swampus in this matchup for sure. Hopefully we can make our opponent commit a bit more to the board with this Doomsayer, maybe with like a rush effect or something. We can Lightning Storm them down. Hecklebot should be pretty good. A lot of these decks don't have too much in the way of big beefy late game, but do have a lot in the way of Battlecry minions. Ziliax is a good draw. Good control piece. A lot of 3 toughness minions hanging around. Hopefully this will pressure our opponent to either go for a rush minion or go for the bomb shuffle. Then we can crack back with
What now?
a Lightning Storm. I guess if they have the wrench, then it doesn't really matter, right? Yeah. Yes. Wrench. No bueno. We do get to get this Lightning Storm. Seems like a fine time to overload as well. Got some 4-drops we can play next turn. Whew.
I wonder.
Hopefully our opponent doesn't have like a Dynamatic here. It's not too big a deal, just kill some totems, but is just like a fine play. I guess Darius Crowley would be the worst one.
I wonder.
Somebody order a bomb!
It's a lot of bombs. Why do people start playing Alex these bomb decks?
Stormy, stormy!
Just as a way to, like, always put your opponent on edge in that late game.
Light the fuses!
I think we'll go for Hagatha here. We're not under too much pressure.
Vows, hear my plea. These cursed spells I give to thee.
Not the greatest elemental. That's so risky taking Lightning Bolt and Lava Burst. Just so the overload can really mess with us.
I wonder.
Might go for the Hecklebot next turn. We've got a bit of a board. Yeah, I mean, if this lives, yeah, we'll go Hecklebot and see if we can trade our horror in. Worst case scenario, I guess we have a Hex, so.
Face me, you meddling moron!
Tight. Guess we'll just go for the turn. I'm in no rush. We got the Witch's Brew as well. Might be important for us to hope that we draw a couple of bombs, then Witch's Brew crack and combine it with Cragwa. Oh, if we draw some bombs now, we'll defs go for the Ziliax. Give me 2 bombs. Come on. No dice.
Unity, precision, perfection.
You silly sloth!
Alright. We are getting into Omega Devastator territory though. Which is probably where we might struggle. We do have these Hagatha schemes charging up though, so. I hope our opponent commits a bit more to the board.
Rush the enemy! Defend Guild
Yeah, just like that. Tasty. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Mind if I roll need?
There's the wrench. This might be a Shuttlewalk turn. Opponent. Yeah. Do need to be careful of the opponent having boom potentially.
What to do? Jaws that bite, my claws that catch.
That's pretty bad. that was really bad. Hitting all those bombs was not great. I think we gotta hope that we don't die and we can just go a Mega Mind scheme. Alright. Hope we don't draw a bomb. There's gotta be only like 1 or 2 left in there, right? Whew, lucky. Alright. We should have Hagatha's schemed first. Totemic Smash and Farsight.
There is little time.
No, we got a scheme. I don't think it made a difference there, which order we did it in, but... Scree Lime Child, what's going on? Well, welcome to the chat. We're playing some Control Shaman. And we are enjoying it. Fortunately, we're in a bit of a hole. Yeah, Boom Master, Blastmaster Boom is probably the last big threat in their deck.
Tiny flies, flee before me.
If we can clear out some of these bombs and then get in with some walking fountain hits, I think we'll be okay. We can even lightning storm this.
Somebody order a bomb. Stormy, stormy.
Oh dear. Oh no, I left the boom in play. Well, that's GG.
Played. You win this.
We had to take some risks there. Fortunately, it didn't pay off. Maybe the turn before we shouldn't have gone for the Cragwar. We should have just gone for the Walking Fountain, and hoped that we got lucky with those boom bot shots. But yeah, still learning our way around this deck. I think no, I'm starting to like it more and more though. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.